Hey everybody. Before watching this video and doing this assignment, you should have completed the simplifying fractions riddle from Monday and Tuesday. There was also an end puzzle video that you were supposed to watch yesterday, the third day of this week. If you did not watch that ed puzzle video over converting improper fractions to mixed numbers and mixed numbers to improper fractions, you need to go back and do that ed puzzle video. I can see how much of the video you watched. I can see how many questions you answered and how you did on those questions. So make sure you paid attention to that video, answered those questions, and did all the other assignments this week before you got to this point. This point is just practicing what you learned in that math antics video. I liked that math antics video because it shows you models and how to really understand what mixed numbers represent and what improper fractions represent and how to easily convert from one to the other. This is going to be very important to understand before we get into adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Okay, so this should be a pretty easy concept. It should be review for you guys, but it can also be tricky, and I'm here to help you guys understand it the best that I can. And I'm going to do a few examples of this fraction riddle with you just to kind of help you out a little bit. So again, this is another fraction riddle, just like the one we did with simplifying fractions and like what we did with identifying fractions. Except instead with this one, you are changing improper fractions. That means fractions that have a larger numerator than the denominator. Numbers that are fractions are larger than one whole. And you're changing them into mixed numbers, a number that has a whole number plus a fraction remaining. So we're going to work on converting. This is needed in order to simplify fractions after you get your answer with adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So for question 1, you have the improper fraction 6 over 4, 6/4. That is larger than one whole because 4 out of 4 would be one whole. Then you're going to have some left over. Well, we need to know how much is left over. What is that mixed number going to be? So in the Math Antics video, it kind of showed you a shortcut in how to figure that out. You can use models and you can make fourths, a fraction circle with fourths or a fraction number line with fourths, and you can realize that you can get 4/4 and 6/4, and you'll have 2/4 left over. But the easiest, fastest way to do this is just to simply divide. Divide the numerator by the denominator. Think of this fraction line as like a diving board, and where your dividend goes is the pool. So the number on the top jumps off the diving board into the pool where the dividend goes. And then number 4 is the friend that goes over to the side to cheer him on. So we have 6 divided by 4. And we have to ask ourselves, how many times will 4 go into 6? 4 will go into 6 one time. I'm going to drag that above the 6. 1 times 4 is 4. I'm going to subtract. 6 minus 4, I'm going to have 2 left over. And 2 is my remainder. Okay, if we were dealing with decimals, we would want to add a decimal and a 0 and bring a 0 down to get a decimal answer. I don't want a decimal answer. I want a mixed number. So a whole number with a fraction left over. So to figure out the whole number is how many total times 4 went into 6. 4 went into 6 one whole time. So 1 is going to be our whole number, 1 whole. The remainder, the pieces left over, is going to be the numerator. So 2 is my numerator. That's what's left over. And like it said in the video, the denominator always stays the same. So our denominator is going to be 4. We're still dealing with fourths in this fraction. So the simplified fraction would be 1 2/4. The tricky thing here is that even after converting your improper fraction to a mixed number, sometimes you're still going to have to simplify again because 2/4 is not completely simplified. There is something that I can divide both 2 and 4 by. I can divide 2 and 4 by the number 2. So I actually have to do that in order to get a simplified fraction. If I didn't do this and I went to the answer key and I looked for 1 2/4, you don't see it. It doesn't pop up there because it's not simplified. After we divide by 2, we're going to get a simplified answer. Two divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. So the real simplified mixed number is 1 whole and 1/2. 1 and 1/2. So I'm going to look for that in the answer key, 1 and 1/2. It's right here, it's B. So question 1 is going to be B. Okay, let's look at problem 2. Problem 2, to simplify an improper fraction to a mixed number, we have to divide the numerator by the denominator. So the numerator is our dividend. It goes inside the pool. Our denominator goes to the side. We want to know how many times does 6 go into 10. 1 time. 1 goes above the 0 in 10. 1 times 6 is 6. We're going to subtract 10 minus 6. We're going to get 4. And then we have to figure out what's our mixed number. Well, 6 went into 10 one whole time, so 1 is my whole number. 4 is my remainder. It's the number of pieces left over, so 4 is the numerator. 6 is the denominator, so it stays the same. So we have 1 4/6. If you look for that in your answer key, 1 4/6 does not show up there. That means that we have to simplify. So what can we divide 4 and 6 by? You can divide both of those numbers by 2. Divide them both by 2. We're going to get 4 divided by 2. That's going to be 2. 6 divided by 2. That's going to be 3. So the simplified fraction is going to be 1 whole and 2/3. 1 and 2/3. 1 and 2/3 is E. So number 2 is E. All right, let's just do one more together, and then you guys have the rest of the riddle to work on yourself. We have 13/8. It's an improper fraction because the numerator is larger than the denominator. So I have to divide to make this a mixed number. So I'm going to put 13 on the inside. 1, 3. Divided by 8. 8 goes into 13 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. If we subtract 13 minus 8, we're going to get 5 as a remainder. Oops. And then we have to fill out our mixed number. 1 is our whole number. 5 is our numerator. And 8 is our denominator. 1 and 5/8. There's nothing you can divide 5 and 8 by other than 1. So 1 and 5/8 is S, and 3 is S. Alright, so I just did 3 of those problems with you. Just like with the simplifying fractions, you can either put your answers on this slide or put your answers in the problem slides where you show your work. Either one of those are going to be fine, but you do have to either fill out the work or fill out your answers on slide 2. Slide 3 is the riddle. If you solve that riddle, it'll be an extra point, extra credit. If you guys have any questions while you're working on this riddle, let me know. Send me a message, and I will help you the best that I can. We can have a Google Meet, or you can just send me comments, and I can try to walk you through it. Good luck with this. After you finish with this, you're done for this week, and hopefully I will see you next week. If not, I'll keep you guys updated with any news that we get for the upcoming week. Good luck. Have a great day.